Netflix's The Dragon Prince is shaping up to be one of the best new bits of fantasy on the market. From its rich world building, creature creation, and intricate mythology, it's proving to be the all-ages Hobbit we need. But what if you aren't up to date on all the magical happenings of the show? Well, I'm Kris Carr, and I'm here to give you your crash course in the magic of The Dragon Prince. Before we dive into our lesson in lore, I want to give a shout out to everyone supporting us on Patreon. We wouldn't be able to do all the work necessary to make these videos the best as possible without you guys, so thank you, you little nerdy godsends. If you want to help us for as little as $1 a month, you can support us on Patreon via the link in your description box. Now let's get to learning, starting with mages. Dust off your 5th edition D&D guide. In the world of Dragon Prince, those who can wield magic are known as mages. These magical folk can control various sources of magic and can come in varying levels of magical strength, the most powerful being archmages. Some creatures, like moon shadow elves, inherently possess some magical ability. However, they're not actually considered mages since they're not actively learning or practicing spells. They just happen to have a capacity for it.
Strength for honor, my blood for justice.
My heart for Zadia.
In the mythology of the Dragon Prince, all magic is drawn from 6 primal sources. These sources are entities of the natural world: the sun, the moon, the stars, the earth, the sky, and the ocean. A mage can draw power from these sources in order to cast different spells. The connection that magical creatures have to their primal source is called arcanum, the sun. Let's start off with that first source, the sun. Sun magic draws from the energy and warmth of the sun. This form of magic is said to have 2 sides. It can bring forth light, growth, and transformation, or it uses fire and heat to cause destruction. The moon. Moon magic draws on the spirit and energy of the moon, and is used in crafting illusions, concealment spells, and connecting with the dead. Its arcanum, the secret of its true meaning, is that appearances are the truth of reality. Obviously, this source is at its most potent during a full moon. The moon is cyclical in strength, relating directly to lunar phases. Additionally, the help of the moon nexus can amplify the power of moon magic. We should see more nexes over the course of the series, as the moon nexus guardian Lujan informs our heroes that it's one of 6 primal nexes.
I am Lujan, guardian of the moon nexus.
Moon spells we've seen include Historia Venetum, a spell that creates a realistic illusion of events in history. Lujan casted this spell to show Callum the ancient moon magic rituals of moon shadow elves thousands of years ago.
Historia Viventum.
Regina Draconis. That casts a Shadowhawk for messaging purposes.
Regina Draconis.
Another one is Mystica-arbora. This is a cloaking spell that can be used on the mage and or his allies and surroundings. Runin crushed his cherished pendant to cast this and hide his friends from the Crown Guard.
Mystica-arbora.
Next, we're on to the stars. Now let's talk about the most rare magic, star magic. Magic creatures connected to the stars are incredibly rare, so not much is known about this type of magic. As of Season 2, we know that it draws on the power of the cosmos and has something to do with divination and visions into the future. I am incredibly excited to learn more about this primal source through Avaros. Not only does he seem like a fascinating character, don't worry, I'm going to be talking more about him in a bit, but this sounds like it has the potential to be one of the most interesting and important areas of magic in the Dragon Prince universe. The Earth. Earth, like sun and ocean, haven't been particularly present in the series, so I had to do some snooping online. If you want to learn more about the world building of this show, I highly recommend checking out the Dragon Prince's website. The site states that, quote, Earth magic draws on the power and energy within the land itself. Earth magic comes from 2 major domains: the stone, minerals, crystals, and gems of the land, and the flora and fauna of the living world. Like the sun and the stars, the arcanum of this type of magic has yet to be revealed: the sky. We've learned a lot about sky magic in these first 2 seasons. Sky magic draws on the power of the sky, the movement of wind, and the power of thunderstorms. If one wanted to perform sky magic without a primal stone, there'd need to be an abundance of the source nearby. So, crazy strong winds or an epic thunderstorm could help with that. Its arcanum requires focus and deep breaths. Sky magic spells include Aspero, a spell that unleashes a breath of wind. We've seen Callum and Claudia use this like a bazillion times.
Aspero.
Aspero Frigus makes that wind icy and can freeze those caught in its path. And Fulminous casts a bolt of electricity to fry foes.
Yeah, I only saw her do the first half, but I'm very good at the first half.
Seriously? That sounds like a really good and safe idea.
The ocean. Now here's another source I had to rely entirely on the Dragon Prince website for. According to the site, ocean magic, quote, draws on the depths of the ocean and tides, and its power connects through rivers and lakes that flow back to it. This source is strongest at high tide. Ocean mages can reflect the nature of their home. A swamp mage and a river mage would look different, though they both connect to the same primal source. In order to cast any spell, a mage must connect with this energy of a primal source naturally, or they can connect through the use of a primal stone. Primal Stones. Primal Stones are conduits to primal sources. So, even when the source itself isn't available, say the moon during the day, a primal stone could still connect that mage with the source of its power. They're like an all-access pass to a primal source. However, primal stones are extremely rare. Only a master mage is capable of crafting them, and the rituals to do so have been largely lost over the years.
Primal stones are incredibly rare. They've been sought after by the most powerful archmages in history. And now, somehow you have one.
Dark magic. Now what do you do if you can't naturally connect with a primal source and don't have a primal stone?
Dark magic!
Well, there technically is a seventh source, dark magic. Dark magic doesn't connect with any of the primal sources.
Use the essence within magical creatures themselves to unleash dark power.
So humans were basically mashing up magical creatures in order to cast incantations. It's, well, dark. The ease and effectiveness of dark magic set humans down a path of poaching and hunting magical creatures to harvest their energy for spellcasting.
Will save your life and many, many others.
It's a shortcut. We may not pay now, but we will pay the blood price eventually. What do you think got us here?
Naturally, other intelligent magical creatures, such as elves and dragons, were mortified by this practice and sent humans packing to the west. This, of course, is how we have the separation between the lands of humans and the lands of magical creatures.
But I know other humans who do magic.
We do not call that practice magic. It's an atrocity.
I'm not sure how humans didn't surmise that this was a bad move. Like, how can you think this is a good idea? Dark is in the name.
Are we the baddies?
Unlike natural magic, which seems to be a birthright, dark magic isn't inherited. However, it can be taught to others. With certain spells, a mage may retain the dark magic within their body, allowing them to cast without the need of incantations. That's why in the series we see bits like Lord Viren lighting candles without speaking, or Claudia casting light without a word. Dark magic spells we've seen include Dark Flames, your standard dark firebolt, the fusing spell that embodies wisps with the essence of a living being, a healing spell that uses flower petals and grasshopper goop, a heating spell used to heat metal, illumination, the revealing spell that uncovers a magical object's true purpose, a silencing spell that removes the target's voice, a summoning spell that brings forth darkened spirits of deceased wolves to hunt down a target, a binding spell that creates snakes that turn to chains, and a spell to undo the last spell, a soul swapping spell that switches the souls of two bodies, as well as a soul trapping spell that can bind a soul to an item. And there's a tracking spell that uses bits of a target's DNA to locate them. Spellcasting. So now that we know about primal sources and stones, let's discuss the actual act of spellcasting. As I stated earlier, casting a spell is done by being close to a primal source, and it's sort of activated by either using a rune or spoken incantation. Dark magic is almost always done with incantations and backward phrases, like a bunch of evil Zatannas.
Eggnog Setok Ogni Runo Smrofinu. Girls' night out.
Natural primal magic, on the other hand, is done through the use of runes. Of course, like anything, this can vary depending on the specific spell being cast. Rules are made to be broken, and I'm sure we'll see variations on spell casting throughout the series.
Aspero.
Other magical artifacts. To close out, I'd love to discuss two additional magical artifacts. The Key of Avaros, the primal cube that came into Callum's possession, and the mirror which we learn in Season 2 houses Avaros. The key, often referred to as the primal cube, was left for Callum by King Harrow. In this final letter to his stepson, the king tells Callum that the cube is a magical relic that belonged to Avaros, the ancient elven grandmaster of all magic. This key or cube appears to light up when facing a creature that possesses some sort of connection to a primal source. Now this is where we're gonna have to start speculating, y'all. Does the cube work like a super primal stone, absorbing energy from various sources so the holder of the cube can wield all of that power? Will all the sides light up at once and open up for a magical surprise? And it is called a key though, so perhaps unlocking the box could unlock something else.
You want me to find these items? I can do that.
This brings us to the mysterious mirror in which Aberos is trapped in. Now, back in season 1, Viren was working to unravel the mystery behind this mirror humans had taken from the Dragon King and Queen's bedroom. Nothing seemed to reveal the secrets of the mirror, even asking magical creatures. When he interrogated Runan, a Moonshadow elf and the leader of the group of assassins charged with taking out the Kalios throne, Runan said that this mirror was something worse than death.
That mirror? You have found something worse than death.
Then tell me, what is it?
I will never help you.
In season 2, Viren flips out and almost destroys the mirror. However, the mirror begins to glow and reveals a look into another room, perhaps even another dimension. The room contains a bookshelf, a window, and a desk. While gazing into the mirror, a Star-Touch elf named Aberos appears. The Dragon Prince Super Sleuth may already be onto this elf. The very first episode, if you're using subtitles like me so you don't miss anything, you'll notice that the narrator is named Aberos. Not only that, but we see him and we go on to see 2 starry arms unfolding a scroll about the magical realms in which our story takes place. So, why is our narrator trapped in a mirror? And how does it appear that he can perform magic from all 6 primal sources?
I don't normally play this card, but I'm the Avatar.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is gonna be like a big Fire Lord versus the Avatar situation, and have Callum connect naturally to all magical sources. And I'm not alone in this theory. A lot of Redditors have been coming in strong on this one. So, let me know if you think there's any validity to this. Any magic I missed? Well, let me know below. Be sure to fill me in on your favorite spells and sources. If you want more videos, click to the left of my face. Or you can check us out on Roku and Plex. Again, a big thanks to our Patreons, and thank you for watching. See you, Space Cowboy.